Me. Ugh. Hey, you guys. Just realized I was on mute, like talking to myself. Okay. Well, as I was saying, aquamarine throat spray for us, some purpurite, which is good for fresh perspectives. We've got a eclipse and a new moon together tomorrow, so preparing for that. We're, as always, going to use the yantra deck, but for our private readings, we're going to use El Key. Let's see, we've got sound baths as usual going on, group healings this week. We've got the new moon ritual tomorrow because it's going to be a good one, it's a big one. At the end of the month, I'm doing my guides group thing where basically we read as a group from and hear from the guides, which is actually always kind of interesting because the guides like to come and kind of teach to everybody. So anyway, those are some things that are going on. Let's check out what's going on for the week. All right, I'm going to put this up for anybody who's new. And just so you guys know, I have three different streams coming in. I have YouTube and two Facebooks. So if you think you're at the top of the list and you don't get your card for a bit, I'm coming, I promise, but it just is different. The hack of this is if you go to my YouTube channel and subscribe, it'll let you comment earlier than before we start, whereas Facebook makes you wait until we're live. So okay, let's do this. All right, so for the week. All right, attention sideways. Okay, so what this is saying is that we're having trouble staying grounded in the here and now. In particular, it's like acts of doing attention, like really actually doing attention, not just being attentive, which means you have to make eye contact, face on people, with where they're at, that kind of stuff. So that's going to be really extra, needing extra attention, funny attention, right? To pay attention to the here and now. This week's helper energy is devotion sideways. Okay, so what this is saying is be where you feel loved. Be with the people who help you expand the energy of love. Be with people who are wanting to share love and expanding you in love, and don't let anybody else in. It's going to require some boundaries. Okay. End of the week, the energies are courage sideways. Now, the way that it is, it's saying that by the end of the week, we're going to be asked to be in our courage, be greater than our thoughts, liberate ourselves from our old beliefs, and really be willing to look at that and untangle ourselves from that. Okay. So that's the beginning of the week. Now the reading goes from here. Okay. So if you're watching later, here's your chance to get a card. If you're watching live, here's your first card. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining. Okay, so I'm going to just real quick into the list here, just say hello so you guys know that you're down there and I'm coming, but that it'll be a minute. So Denise, Natalie, Stephanie, I know we're just getting started, but that's the bottom of the list at the moment, so I'm coming. All right, so we're using, again, the El Key deck. Okay, so tune into yourself. 1, 2, 3, okay? So really tune in which card sings to you this week. 1, 2, or 3. Okay, if you picked 1, you're going to be working with She Who Emerges, enlightenment, mindfulness, and rising up. Okay, so Kamala, see how she's coming up out of the murky waters and into her dress is already white. Like, this is your week for you to kind of rise up if you picked 1. If you picked 2 this week, you're going to be focusing on She Who Dreams, escape dreams and fantasies. Good week for you to vision about your wishes, what you want things to be, kind of focusing on that. If you picked 3, you're going to be wanting to focus on She Who Waits, patience, waiting, and determination. Okay. She can't squish the butterfly in her hand. Okay. She's got to be very careful as she goes forward. So if you add that to what we already heard as far as the be with people who help you feel loving, and begin to enlighten yourself of your old belief patterns that are not working, that kind of thing. Okay. All right. Now, if we see a card 3 times, it's for all of us. Okay. So, And I will get to all of you most likely because I always do. So like I see you at the bottom, Crystal, I'm coming. But listen to the other messages that are coming in the meantime, okay? So that way you can kind of hear if there's more being said to you as well. Okay, so Kimberly, you're starting us off with Elixir, she who forgives, remorse, guilt, and forgiveness. Okay, so this week really focusing on forgiveness and getting yourself in an awareness that you are um, the holder of your own energy there, meaning that if you don't forgive, it's just poison to yourself. Okay. Okay. Hello, Gina. Happy almost eclipse and new moon. All right, here we go, Gina. Your card is She Who Loved Once, Fragile, Secret Love, and Rejection. Okay, so remember that boundaries this week where we're going to be around people who help us feel loved. This card is saying that you're going to be revisiting some past feelings of rejection and where you felt kind of like love was lost, and that might be something to be with and see what has happened there as far as belief systems. Because remember, we're unpacking those right now. All right, Hannah. You're going to focus this week on She Who Prepares, Formulate, Strategize, Devise. So this is an energy of like getting ready for, okay, so make some plans, know that you've already done this before, have a little strength of like your previous things that you've had to head into, and just know that this week is going to be a week where you're headed into really planning phase, not necessarily an action phase, okay? Make sure that you surround yourself with people who are loving you during that process. Nicole, you're gonna work with She Who Regrets, okay? Battle, victory, and bittersweet. So see how she's standing on all these skulls? She's battled just for the sake of battling, and now she regrets it. So this week, be careful not to fight just to be right. This week, be careful not to go into battles that you'll just regret. Nobody wins, okay? So be on the lookout for that, especially with that devotion energy coming up. Okay, Seth, you're going to work on She Who Dreams. So if you picked 2, it's coming up again. Escape, dreams, and fantasy. It doesn't have to be reality this week. It can just be what you hope and dream for. You can get on there and just kind of like look at pictures of luxury, whatever, just really getting in touch with what your dreams are about. Okay. Addison, you're going to be working on She Who Whispers, secrets, confessions, and confidence. Okay. So when people are telling you things this week, they're for you to keep to yourself. It's not going to be about sharing with anybody else. This is a good week to kind of be a good listener, but not necessarily a good talker. Okay. All righty. Going down the list here, you guys. Heidi, you're going to be working on She Who's Wild, okay? Untamed, wild, mysterious. So really letting yourself get kind of just out of the comfort zones, out of the zones where you are trying to be something acceptable, and just get into the zones that you are able to just show up and be, wild is what the card was. Rob, you're going to be She Who Resists, fearless, justified resistance. Now, look, she's got blood on her sword. She's already fought. Okay. So this card is saying, like, it's justified to be resistant to certain things. Stand up for yourself this week, but know that you don't necessarily, when you think about the devotion card that was coming up, like put yourself around people who you don't have to resist this week. Okay. Know that you can if you need to, though. Kelly, for you this week, you're going to focus on, okay, this is She Who Aches, sadness, solitude, and silent withdrawal. Now, there's a little friend in this card and I don't know if you can see it or not, but this little magpie at the bottom has a ring for her, but she's so in her own thoughts and sadness, she can't see it. So this is a card of like being aware that you're really inward and you're really working on some grief and things. And that's going to be, the focus. Remember, the helper cards this week are, put yourself around the places that help you feel loved while that's going on. But look for the helpers. Remember the magpie. Okay, Matthew, you're going to be working on She Who Instigates, leadership, provocation, and power. Okay, so time for you to be in your leadership skills this week. Be in the, guidance for everyone that this is who I am and where I'm taking us. Okay, so Good job on that. Tiff, you're going to work on she who surrenders, chains, bondage, release. See, she's got some chains around her ankles and she's holding on to the old letters. See the little waterfalls is like, I'm aching for past things that I don't have anymore. So be aware of that. And when you think about cleaning house and really liberating your energy this week, don't let yourself get around people that perpetuate the ache. Okay. Taryn, you're going to focus this week on she who doubts, okay? Fear, weariness and trust. This is like she's concerned, she's not exactly sure whether or not to believe what's going on, and that's okay this week, okay? So if you think about that devotion energy that you're working on, if something makes you doubt, why are you there? Okay? Eli, you're going to be working on she who resists, okay? Fearless, justified resistance. Again, similar to what Rob got, which is you've had to resist some things. You don't have to resist everything. And with the message of the devotion card, you can put yourself in alignment with feeling into the fact that you have people around you that you don't have to battle, okay? Chloe, you're going to work on being wild this week, okay? So she's wild, untamed, mysterious. Like literally just let yourself dance and be free and do whatever you want to do, whatever feels like authentically untamed you, okay? All right. Tanya, you're going to work on the she who divines, future choice and judgments. Okay. See how she's got these cards, she's got dice, she's got all kinds of things. So this is like use your tools this week. Maybe get an oracle deck out and pull a card every day, or really paying attention to the signs around you this week that mean something. Don't necessarily jump in without a little guidance from the divinations. Okay. All right. Cece, you're going to be working on she who's free, liberation, unrestrained, and freedom. She's throwing her handcuffs into the water. She is done. Okay. So this week is going to be a good week for you to free yourself. And if you think about that love energy, free yourself from those relationships that don't expand your love. Okay. Mountain River, you're going to be working on the she who battles. Okay, justice, fierce, and commitment. Okay, so this is very much about saying that you're willing to go and stand up for what's right. You're willing to say that's not okay when it's not okay. This is a good week for you to really stand up and not necessarily sit in any victim energy. Okay, Cynthia, you're going to work on she who waits. If you picked 3, it's doubling down for you. Patience, waiting, and determination. Not an action week for you. A week. And so if you surround yourself again with those triangle situations where you feel expanded in love, okay, but wait and be patient. Don't do much this week with action. Diane, you're going to be working on she who whispers, secrets, confessions, and confidants. So this is similar to what we heard earlier, which is that you're hearing the message of when people tell you things, keep it to yourself. When it's really a good week for you to keep your mouth closed and just listen. And just kind of hear people telling you their truth when, and sometimes it's kind of buried a little bit and you have to really be patient and listen. Okay. Kara, you're working on she who thrives. Okay. Flourish, prosper, and blossom. Good for you. This week's a good flourishing week for you. Good week for you to have your eyes wide open and see how things are coming to unfold and how you're blossoming in your own truth. Okay. Janelle, your focus is she who brings light, sensitivity, and beacon. She's just a light. She doesn't have to be anything else but just show up. She doesn't have to be in any kind of way except for just me. So just kind of open heart this week, okay? Donnie, you're going to work on, and this is the 3rd time we've seen it, so I'm going to bring the book in, she who resists. So this means when it comes up 3 times, it's for all of us. So all of you guys, open your ears, listen, here we go. Okay, so let me tell you what the contemplations are here. Am I allowing my power to be blocked? Is my anger justified? Are there peaceful ways to resist? Okay. So you guys look into this week. Okay. Especially when you put around that devotion cards and at the end of the week, we're liberating our own thought systems. Okay. So we're all going to be working on our sense of power. Okay. Christy, you're going to work on she who creates, curiosity, originality, spontaneity. See how she's got the Fool. She really doesn't care. She's just going to have fun. She's just going to do things. This is like the fool stepping off the cliff in the tarot deck. Just kind of go for it this week. Kira, you're going to work on She Who Whispers. So this is the third time we've seen this one too. So secrets, confessions, and confidant. So everybody listen up because it's for all of us. So listen to the questions. Ready? What are my secrets? What would happen if I shared my secrets with others? And who can I trust with what I value most? Okay. So we're going to be resisting and we're going to be our peaceful power while if you remember the devotion triangle, we'll be around people who we can trust with our secrets. Okay. Finn, fourth time for She Who Resists. Okay. So right use of power, be willing to stand up when it's time to stand up. And really notice where there's peaceful revolutions that can happen too, resolutions that can happen, and not just battles. Okay, Courtney, you've got She Who Thrives. Okay, flourish, prosper, and blossom. You see the butterflies and everything. That's like you come through something this week. So as you're battling, as you're putting yourself around love, know that you're going to thrive. Okay, so really focus on thriving this week. Okay, Aaron, you're going to work on She Who Hesitates. Okay, so ponder, delay, and confidence. Okay, see how she's hiding from the light. Okay, this week, just notice where you're hiding from the light, where you're shining away from yourself instead of towards yourself. Just kind of be in the energy. Okay, blossoming lotus. She Who Nurtures, okay, empathy, gentleness, and insight. So just be open to nurturing energy, especially surrounding yourself with people who appreciate that side of you. Okay, and Shannon, you're going to focus on She Who Whispers. Okay, so secrets, confessions, and confidants. Okay, so this is the third time that we've seen this one. Fourth time we've seen this one, right? So this is really going into what are your secrets? How can you be with people who you trust? Don't necessarily have to be the people that you have been sharing with in the past. It could even be somebody new, that kind of thing. Robin, you're going to be foolishly creating. Okay, curiosity, creativity, originality, and spontaneity. Just be yourself this week. Be creative. Find ways to be as creative as you can. Who cares what anybody thinks or what the purpose is? Okay. Jordan, you're going to be working on She Who Begins, launch, activate potential. Lots of grapes and butterflies in this card. That means things are coming. So it's time for you to begin to think about what is it that you are going to take action on in love, free, liberated from that energy that is not serving you as far as from the past, that kind of thing. Okay, Austin. She Who Aches, sadness, solitude, silence, and withdrawal. So when we saw this before, I pointed out that magpie with the ring. You're going to be in your own sadness. You're not necessarily going to notice anybody trying to make you feel better. Just be aware that that's something that will happen. And this week, and just kind of nurture yourself and surround yourself with people who can help you. Okay. All right. Katie, you're going to work on She Who Listens, understanding, witness, and compassion. She's leaning in. She's listening. Okay, so listen carefully this week, especially with that attention card and that love card. Really put yourself into a space where you can listen. Okay, Kay, you're going to work on She Who Flies, Dare, Do, Reach. Okay, so good week for you to reach out to the goals that you have. Stretch yourself a little bit. Charlie's going to focus on She Who Waits, patience, waiting, and determination. So that's the third time we've seen this one too, guys. So this means it's for all of us to be patient. Okay. So even though some of you are thriving and reaching and we're battling a little bit, we're also waiting. So let me read this to you guys. Okay. It says, what can I set aside to make room for my dreams? What do I want the most? And how long am I willing to wait? Okay, so really prioritizing what you want the most, put away distractions and focus. Ian, you're going to work on She Who Brings Light, serenity, and beacon. You don't have to do anything but just show up, shine, smile, be free with your energy, and that will be useful. Okay, Elizabeth, you're going to focus on She Who Forgives, remorse, guilt, and forgiveness. Okay, so she's going to be reminding you that when you don't forgive or you hold on to something, it tightens your energy. It causes your energy to be locked down. You want to let that go. Okay. Joe, you're going to work on she who questions, okay? Curiosity, destiny, search. She's got a big old flower on her neck. She's listening. She's drawing answers to herself. So this would be a good listener as you hold space for that love that's been coming through. Okay, Lisa, you're working on she who hopes, okay? Love, hope, and relationships. There's a little frog down here. She keeps going. She doesn't give up. She keeps letting herself hope and dream, okay? And if you combine that with everything else, you do that with that love, okay? Janice. Okay, third time's the charm for this one, you guys. She who aches, solitude, sadness, silence, and withdrawal. So we all are going to be working on looking into this one too, okay? So everybody listen. Here's the questions. What is the root of this unhappiness? What have I done to begin to dispel my despair? And what is the one thing I can do to feel better? Okay, so we have a lot of work to do, you guys, this week. Oof, got lots of things to think about. Kimberly, you're going to focus on that emerging. If you picked one at the beginning, this is doubling down, enlightenment, mindfulness, rising up out of the muck. It's okay to be clean and free and enlightened. That doesn't discard your past. It just elevates it. Catherine, you're going to work on she who knows, wisdom, clarity, and resolution. Okay, so really be in your knowing this week. Just resolute. You don't necessarily, especially with the other energies we're working with, you don't have to go around telling everybody. It's just about giving yourself a chance, okay, to know, integrate the knowingness, okay? Karen, she who yearns, Desiree, yearn, longing, pining for. What are you waiting for? This week is a week to really be in touch with those desires. Those desires are building and they're bringing you something, okay? Just have faith in that. All right, Bahar, you're working on she who knows, wisdom, clarity, and resolution. Okay, so we just heard that from Catherine. So we're bringing it back around and we're saying be really into your knowing. You don't necessarily have to tell everybody, but it is important for you to know what you know. Okay, Reese, you're going to be working on she who nurtures, empathy, gentleness, and insight. So being that nurturing energy that people need. Okay. And yeah, so just that's, I mean, it's pretty straightforward in that nurturing energy. Okay, Miranda, feeling stuck in the situation. Okay, here's what you're working on this week. She who rises up, empower, uplift, elevate. There's a phoenix on her back. She is coming up out of the ashes. This week is a week for you, especially if you've had to resist some things. The resistance might lock your energy down. Just be aware of that, okay? Just know that you're emerging. Give yourself a little pat on the back. You got this. Alicia, you are working on she who becomes, metamorphosis, transcend, a journey. You are coming into your own a little more this week. Really focus on that. That's really good with the eclipse energy and everything. So really hold space for yourself to just kind of see how you're emerging out of all of the things that have gone on. Okay, Clara, you're working on, and this is the third time we've seen this, she who brings the light, serenity, and beacon. So we're standing in our own power. We're standing in our own light. We're asking the questions of how we're making ourselves miserable. Okay, so here's the questions. Ready? What serves as my beacon? Where can I go to recharge my own battery? And what are 3 things I value most about myself? Okay, so those are the questions to be really working on for yourself this week for all of us. Okay, Gina, you are going to be working on that battle. She who regrets, battle, victory, bitterness. Be careful not to battle where it doesn't make sense to battle or where nobody wins, okay? This week, just really be in that energy of awareness that you might regret the battles, okay? So remember, you can resist. That's in the cards for all of us. But battles, maybe not. Okay, now this is the third time we've seen this one. Andrea's bringing this for us. She who thrives, flourish, prosper, blossom. Woohoo! So when we stand in our own power, you guys, good things happen. So let me read to you what the questions are. What does successfulness look like to me? When can I accomplish an unexpected windfall? And how can I view abundance less narrowly? Okay, so really opening your mind as to what abundance even is this week. Okay, Sherry, she who knows, third time we brought this one forth, wisdom, clarity, resolution. Okay, so this one is another one for all of us. So keep listening, you guys. This is when we start getting really into the big messages for all of us. What emotional clues should I be paying attention to? What are the intellectual clues telling me? And how can I open myself up to seeing all the facts? Remember, you can know something. You don't necessarily have to go around telling everyone else you know it. It's just more about you knowing it. Okay, Stephanie, Third time's a charm on this one. She who forgives, remorse, guilt, and forgiveness. Okay, so here we go, you guys. Another question. Again, like I said, it starts to get toward, especially towards the end here, we start to get more and more of the collective messages. If I were to write a letter asking for forgiveness, what would it say? If I were to write a letter telling someone I forgive them, what would I say? What do I need to let go of in order to heal? See, she has the elixir in her hand. She can heal. All right. Natalie, your focus for the week. See, I told you I was coming. Oh, and I shuffled. So more forgiveness. Okay. So fourth time for this, you guys, makes it really important to all of us, but really paying attention. What do I need to forgive? What do I need to be forgiven for? How can I really step into that now, knowing I can hold the keys to letting that stuff go inside myself? Remember, if lack of forgiveness is kind of a restriction, accepting what is and being with what is where you liberate your energy fields. Okay. Denise, she who stands, resolute, implacable, determined. Okay, so she's also got blood on her sword. She's already fought. She's standing up for herself. She's saying, I've got this. I don't need you to tell me I've got this. I'm going to just do it. And I've done it before and I'll keep doing it. Okay, so this week, just stand in your own. Okay, Crystal, you want to focus on she who battles, justice, fierce, and commitment. Okay, so this is very much about going out. So some of us are being asked to kind of stand back, and some of us are being asked to go ahead and go forward. Crystal, you're being asked to go forward, stand up for what you believe in, love what you love, and be fierce about it. Okay. Deanna, this week for you, you're going to work on she who persists. Okay, so perspective, defiant and persistent. This is what purple came up for sure. It's a good week for you to just keep going with whatever you've got. I know sometimes it can feel a little exhausting, but you got this. Okay. Cameron, for you this week, you're going to focus on, and third time's a charm, she who's wild, untamed, wild, and mysterious. Okay, you guys. So on top of everything else, we're just being asked to be unwaveringly ourselves. Okay. So here is the questions for us all. Who supports my authenticity? What unexpected things can I do today? And where can my magic take me? Okay. Being just unapologetically authentic is all you have to do. Okay. I told you I'd get to all of you. You guys even got to the end of the list here. If you're still hanging out and still haven't necessarily said hello, feel free. There's still a little time left. I'm going to throw one, as I always do when we have time left, for my husband. Okay. So Matt, you're going to work on she who flies, dare, do, reach. It's going to be a good week for you to be really in your confidence and really be around people who help you feel confident and let yourself really thrive in that space. So, all right, I'm going to throw a card for the new moon eclipse energy, just to kind of give us a little bit of a sense about that. What we need to focus on for this new moon eclipse energy. Oh, okay. It's that knowingness. Okay. Wisdom, clarity, and resolution. Okay. So this is, you guys, really, to me, this card represents being in your truth, being in your crown chakra awareness, higher truth, aware of what you know and what you've already experienced. And while you sit in that energy, you are going to let yourself integrate that knowledge into wisdom. Okay, so this isn't necessarily a time for you to go around teaching everybody what you know necessarily, but just being in your own clarifications. Remember those questions. Okay, so really allowing yourself this week to focus on this. This card came up a bunch of times. I'm going to read a little bit more of this. Okay, listen. Okay, she who knows has a thoughtful gaze and allows her to see each of us as who we really are. One of her gifts is the ability to clarify things. She cuts to the heart of the matter using wisdom and insight in tandem, rather than limiting herself to only intellectual or emotional clues. Yelena possesses all information through her heart and her head. She processes it. Sorry, not possesses. Her ability to know things may seem uncanny to most, but she's merely using her natural abilities. Okay, so it's flexing your knowingness this week. That's going to be also part of the eclipse tomorrow. All right, you guys. Well, we've done it again. I hope that you guys have a fabulous week. I'd love to hear how it's going. Feel free to clue me in, and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye.